So we'll try after a long time.
Hare
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, और प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवं श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। Okay, continuing.
आचार्य दोष नाही ईश्वर नहला अतय विकल्पना करी नास्तिक शास्त्र कैला. Actually, there is no fault on the part of Shankaracharya. He simply carried out the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He had to imagine some kind of interpretation, and therefore he presented a kind of Vedic literature that is full of appeal.
So this is the last reason he is giving. Last week we discussed. Now today's discussion will be mainly focused on what happened after Sama Bhattacharya was delivered and how he was delivered. Last week we saw many to and fro, 7 days, and then Mahaprabhu presented in a way, and how Shankaracharya was, he said Vyasadev had done the wrong thing, and how it was presented was kind of his interpretation. But here it is saying that actually there was no fault of Shankaracharya. Ataiva kalpana kari. He was asked to do a kalpana, means interpretation, and cover presented Vedic literature in a way that is full of atheism. This is something, these two words I can read. This is from Padma Puran, where the Supreme Lord tells to Lord Shiva, Swagamai kalpitais tomcha. So he's telling that you do some kalpana. So this is Lord's instruction to Lord Shiva. You do some kalpana. Janan mad vimukhan kuru. Janan means all living entities. Mad vimukhan means you make people averse to me. Kuru, you do this. This is my instruction to you. Make people averse to me. Macha gopaya yena shat. And gopaya means you cover me. So this is my instruction. You cover me. You give some misinterpretation. Shrishtir eshataro eshat tarotara. Shrishti is material advancement, material creation. Let this advance. Let the material creation advance and you cover me. Clear? So this is the instruction. So that's why Mahaprabhu is telling actually there is no fault on the part of Lord Shiva. And then this is something Lord Shiva tells Durga, Mayavadam Asat Shastram. Mayavad, what is Mayavad? Asat Shastram. It is the false interpretation of scriptures. This comes in Padma Puran. But if you go to Shankaracharya followers, they say we reject Puranas. So you cannot even bring this. But it's very clear. Padma Puran says that Mayavadam Asat Shastram. This is where the word Mayavad comes from. It comes from scriptures. Prichanam Bodham Uchyate. Prichanam means covered, representation of scriptures, which is covered representation of scriptures. Bodham Uchyate, and similar to Buddhism. Buddhism is also atheism. So spread atheism. Mayaiva Vihitam Devi. O Devi, this telling to Durga Devi, this is taught by me. Kalau Brahmana Murtina. In the form of a Brahmana, I will come and I will spread Mayavad. Is it clear? So when Sarvamata Bhattacharya heard this, So this was his reaction.
Sumi Bhattacharya hela Parama Vinista Mukhenam Nihasare Vani Haila Tambita. Swam Swarnava Bhattacharya became very much astonished upon hearing this. He became stunned and said nothing.
Mm. Haila Stambhita. So he became like stunned. Could not believe that there is such thing in the scriptures about Mayavad. Okay.
प्रभु कहे भट्टाचार्य नाखारा विस्मया भगवाने भक्ति परम पुरुषार्था आया. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then told him, do not be astonished. Actually, devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the highest perfection of human activity.
So this is like heart transformation is happening for Sarvam Bhattacharya. He said, do not be astonished. Devotional service Supreme Lord has to is the highest perfection. Focus on that. So even the self-satisfied sages perform devotional service. Anyone remembers a verse from Bhagavatam which says that even self-satisfied sages practice or read Srimad Bhagavatam, Atma Rama verse. Anyone remembers? Uh, yeah, Atma Rama Chamunaya verse. So this comes in first canto. We discussed that, which says that um, devotional service is, and we gave the example of Sukadev Goswami. He was a liberated soul. He was not attracted to women also. Remember, he was walking, they were taking bath, he was not attracted. But he was attracted when Bhagavatam was spoken. That shows that Bhagavatam is transcendental. Even the liberated souls were attracted to it. So this is what Mahaprabhu says. Even the self-satisfied sages perform devotional service. Such are the transcendental qualities of the Lord. They are full of inconceivable spiritual potency. Bhagavanera Gunagana. Achintya Bhagavanera Gunagana. So full of inconceivable spiritual potential, devotional service. Like we are doing kirtan. So we have some meditation. We all have different meditations. So I have some meditation here, so here, correct? So in how many ways the Lord is revealing to us. Pure devotees have different. The person who starts chanting Hare Krishna yesterday, he has different meditation, but they all have meditation. So it is full of inconceivable spiritual potency. According to one's adhikar, that much spiritual potency is exist. But devotional service is full of that. Just we have to move forward. It's all there. You take one step, I take one step, you get the benefit that are lying on this. You take another step, you get some more benefit. Take more, see, so there are benefits everywhere. Can someone relate to Sikshashtakam? First was Sikshashtakam. हाँ आनंदाम बुद्धिवार्धनम प्रतिपदम पूर्णामृता स्वादम. Every step you feel I'm completely satisfied. Whichever step we are in, we'll feel this is excellent. You go next step, you go deeper. So the meditation I'm sure you have 3 years back and meditation you have now is very different. What you could not access 3 years back, you can access now. And what you cannot access now, you'll be able to access 3 years down the line. So it's just a matter of time and sincerity, and you can access the benefit on those steps. Good. So it's full of inconceivable spiritual potency. You get how much ever you have hunger. Based on hunger. Okay. Um,
who are self-satisfied and attracted by external material desires are also attracted to the loving service of Sri Krishna, whose qualities are transcendental and whose activities are wonderful. Hari, the personality of Godhead is called Krishna because he has such transcendently attractive features.
Mm. Who are self-satisfied and unattracted by material desire. They are also attracted to loving service of Sri Krishna because they are transcendental. Prabhupada said, be very careful when you approach the pastimes of Radha and Krishna because if you're not very careful, then you will see the affairs of Radha and Krishna as material love affairs. So there is a verse, Radha Krishna Pranay Mahima Haladini Shakti Rashmat Ekat Manav Api Buripura Deha Getam Patauto Chaitamakyam Prakatam Aduna Tadvayam Chaikamaptam Radha Bhava Duty Swaldam Naumi Krishna Swarup. Where this is Radha Krishna Pranaya, their pastimes, Mahima, um, Haladini Shakti Rashmat. It is Haladini Shakti of the Lord. It is the internal energy. Everything there is transcendental. You see, when you meditate on Radha Krishna pastimes, you feel divinity. But if you meditate on a young boy and younger, you become agitated. So that shows that those pastimes are transcendental. The body is not agitated. The mind becomes divine. Does it make sense? But mundane love affairs will agitate the body. But if Radha Krishna pastimes are agitating us, means we are not ready for those pastimes. Radha Krishna pastimes are not meant to agitate us. They are meant us to make us divine. But when people want to enter into Radha Krishna pastimes, they want to enter because they want to become agitated. That's why they want to go through, well, this I cannot get, so let me satisfy my agitation through Radha and Krishna. Does it make sense? But they are not meant for this. That is the unqualification to enter into Radha Krishna pastimes. The qualification is we should not be agitated by hearing them, and we should feel divinity. When those pastimes kind of create a kind of, just like we chant the holy name, that's the best time to meditate. But that kind of creates that divinity. The body becomes peaceful. Okay. So even the self-satisfied sages are attracted by those pastimes because they are transcendental by nature. But because people don't understand, like one time, one person asked His Holiness Adhanath Maharaj that how can you consider Krishna such a god that he has all these pastimes, he does all these things. So Maharaj told him that um, um, a first grade student should not access a PhD level education, otherwise he'll not be able to appreciate it. First you have to go through first grade, second grade, third grade, and then you go to PhD. Means it is not. That's why we never discuss about those pastimes because they are meant. Srila Prabhupada made a very heavy statement. When I heard, I was depressed. Prabhupada said Radha Krishna pastimes are only meant for liberated souls. Oh no. He said it is only meant for liberated souls. Otherwise, um, it may create disturbance in our spiritual. But those who want to access it without the qualification they have, they become sahajiyas. Means just use those pastimes to fulfill material desires. It's so that is not good. We are not follower of that direction. Good. Okay.
After hearing the Atmarama's Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and the sweet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my dear sir, please explain this to us. I have a great desire to hear your explanation of it.
So he also spoke on it, but he wanted to hear from Mahaprabhu. When this was quoted by Mahaprabhu, he has his own mundane interpretation. Mahaprabhu gave an interpretation that even self-satisfied sages attracted transcendental pastimes of the Lord. So he was like, oh. So, sometimes same verse a devotee speaks, like senior devotee, like pure devotees. Our minds is, oh, how is it possible? This can also be the meaning of this. Have you experienced that before? It happens because they're speaking from their realization. So when Mahaprabhu just said it is Atma Rama was self-satisfied, it's transcendental activities of the Lord. I'm like, oh, can you explain more? I want to hear. So the Lord, okay. So we'll go back to
The
you.
Lord replied, first let me hear your explanation. After that, I shall try to explain what little I know.
महाप्रभु always like whatever little I know. उसमें वो परास्त कर देंगे पर he will say good. So he said first you explain. Okay.
नवविध अर्थ कैलास सहस्त्रमता एलाना सुनी प्रभु कहे किच्छु विसथाई संज्ञा. So Bhattacharya explained the Atmarama verse is in 9 different ways on the basis of scripture. After hearing his explanation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiling a little began to speak.
So how many ways he explained? 9 ways he explained. But it was all क्योंकि कंडीशनिंग एक तरीके से ही सोचते हो he thinks in a certain way only. So he explained in a way and Mahaprabhu smiled. So that's clear why Mahaprabhu smiled. Okay.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my dear Bhattacharya, you are exactly like Brahaspati, the priest of the heavenly kingdom. Indeed, no one within this world has the power to explain the scriptures in such a way. Art of being straight, forward, and clean.
This a preacher has to learn. You see how Mahaprabhu, the person is completely wrong, but Mahaprabhu is not like this is all nonsense. Does that make sense? Mahaprabhu is telling you just like Brihaspati. No one can explain the scriptures like you. After that, he will defeat him. But you see, Mahaprabhu is always presenting in a way. Radhanath Maharaj says, a preacher should be expert in satisfying the false ego of others. He should be expert in satisfying the false ego of others. If you say something direct, the false ego is hurt. So he should be satisfied, then we can become a preacher. He should not be like, we have to hit. We have to hit. But with hit, see Mahaprabhu's way of hitting. Mahaprabhu came to teach us everything. And he is preaching to Mayavadis right now, which refers to anybody. Is it clear? Good? Okay.
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu his speech was specifically avoid to use the word with the word Ashwarama. He thus explained the word Ashwarama in 18 different ways.
Different from the 9 ways it was explained by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So he took what Munayo may have many meaning. Urukrame, many meaning. And then he combined with Atmarama and explained many different ways. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was kind of thinking that the way he can analyze the scriptures, and when he heard Mahaprabhu's analyzation, we will see his reaction.
सोनी भट्टाचार्य सोनी भट्टाचार्य ये माने खायला चमत्कार प्रभु के प्रभु के कृष्ण जाने का आपका विस्तार. Upon hearing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's explanation of the Atmana power, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was struck with wonder. He then understood Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be Krishna in person, and he thus condemned himself in the following words.
What was his realization from within? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
Krishna himself.
हाँ.
Mahaprabhu is Krishna.
Mana Haila Chamatkar. He is like astonished. And then he has already heard he is Krishna from Gopinathacharya, his son in law. But he kind of, was very much in Sattvagun and be careful what you are speaking. And he didn't say any words which are harsh, but he did not accept. But when he heard all the explanation and Atmaram was 18 ways, he in his heart thought, well, this must be Krishna. Otherwise, I am the best person who speaks. He has explained 18 ways in such a way that only the Supreme Lord can do such a thing. This is his kind of the Lord is sitting in his heart. And the Lord kind of gave him that realization. This must be the Supreme Lord.
In order some I I know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is certainly Lord Krishna himself, because I did not understand him. I was very proud of my own head. I have committed many offenses.
Now, what make us realize that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna? Actually, it is mercy. We all have accepted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. What made us realize? Think about it. Like Mahibal, what made you realize Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna? You have connection in your heart, right? What made you realize?
I think initially there was nothing. After hearing Chaitanya Charitamrita showing different forms to different devotees, I think service to the Bhagavan. I think after that it strengthened.
Some connection came. And now, just by hearing, now you cannot get connection. Many people will hear Chaitanya Charitamrita, but they will not accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. So this comes only Mahaprabhu has to, that conviction comes only by the mercy, grace of Krishna. Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, I remove the ignorance when you engage in my devotional service. I remove the ignorance. If there is some feeling that is Mahaprabhu Krishna, means we have not yet received mercy from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, from Krishna. So many times people say, na, I have difficulty accepting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. And I just tell them, well, continue devotional service. Means I know Krishna did not find them qualified yet. I cannot do anything. I can speak the same thing to 100 people. Some will have conviction, some will not have conviction. That's up to their adhikar. That Krishna is the judge. We cannot do anything. So here he got that conviction from within. We cannot understand. If somebody comes and says 18 verses to us now, 18 ways explain a verse, will we accept him as God? Doesn't make sense. But how he could accept? Mercy. Is it clear? Mercy. Okay. But then what did he do? Mahaparada kainu garvita hayya. I have became proud and I have committed a great offense. And then he took a very humble position. Very humble position. Let's see what happens.
आत्मनिंदा करी नैला प्रभु रशनन कृपा करी बड़ी तबे प्रभु रनैला मन. When Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya denounced himself as an offender and took shelter of the Lord desired to show him mercy.
So what Sarvamacharya did?
Denounced himself.
He said he thought, just thought. He, I mean, he said also that I'm an offender. I have offended Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then when Mahaprabhu saw the humility of Sarma Bhattacharya, then Mahaprabhu desired that I should show him my mercy. Mahaprabhu did not show his mercy to prove his divinity. Does it make sense? He is not trying to prove himself. That's that's supreme personality of Godhead. Completely pure. Yeah. Sometimes people try to prove themselves. Mahaprabhu is not trying to do that. The qualification is Mahaprabhu saw that this person has taken a very humble position. My Lord, I am so fallen. I don't have any mercy from you. This will become your qualification to receive more mercy from the Lord. The humble disposition. So he said, I am an offender. And then Mahaprabhu, like if somebody takes a humble position in front of you, you want to show him mercy. I mean, our mercy may be whatever. You want to show him affection, let's say in this way. But if somebody is very proud in front of you, don't want to show them any affection. Does it make sense? Okay. But there is something more to that uh, later. Okay.
निज रूप प्रभु तनरे करीब दर्शन चतुर्भुज रूप प्रभु थैला टुकाना. To show him mercy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu allowed him to see his Vishnu form, thus he immediately assumed 400.
So this is one of the picture where Mahaprabhu showed Narayan form and Sarvam Bhattacharya took a humble position. He already took a humble position before Mahaprabhu revealed himself. That became his. For us, it will just be a conviction within our heart when we take a humble position. Okay.
देख देखा लिया देखैला तन्रे एज चतुर्भुजा रूपा पाचे श्यामा वंशी मुखा स्वकीय swarupa. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first showed him the four-handed form and then appeared before him in his original form of Krishna with a blackish complexion and a flute to his lips.
What does word Shama means? Shama Vamsi Mukha Swakya Swarup. Swakya means his own form. Swakya. He showed in Shama Vamsi Rup. This is another picture that depicts that he showed four hands also, and he showed Krishna also and Sarvam Bhattacharya. So let's
But
see.
this is Chatursham.
Well, okay, good. Um, Chaitanya Charitamrita says he showed his four-handed form and he showed his two-handed form. It can be seen as six-handed form. But Chaitanya Charitamrita describes two different. He first showed Vishnu form, then showed Krishna
But there is another one with Rama.
form. So
That
this,
is this one.
yeah, this picture shows that. Now, there is, I think Chaitanya Mangal or some other scripture says that he showed this form.
Sarvamata.
So that's why both pictures you will see. But Chaitanya Charitamrita says Vishnu form and then Krishna. Chadbhuja form and then. It just says, it can be interpreted in many ways, but it just says Chaturbhuj form. Now Chaturbhuj, you can see it as two hands of Lord Ram and two hands of that. Or Chaturbhuj you can interpret as Vishnu form. So Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami does not clarify. He does says very clearly Shama Vamsi Roop. But then he says Chaturbhuj form. So we are referring to Chaturbhuj form and Vishnu form. So there is some confusion how you take it, but you showed his divinity. Two different. That's why I showed both the pictures. One is this picture, and one is this picture. Both are Sarva Bhattacharya. Good. Alright.
Okay, that was the Dasharatha Kalpade Puna Utti Stuti Kare Devikara Stuti. When Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya saw the form of Lord Krishna manifested in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he immediately fell down flat to offer his obeisance. Then he stood up and with folded hands began to offer prayer.
So what did he do? Dandavat kari, podi, puna uthi stuti. Stuti matlab?
Glory.
He started glorifying, started praying. First he paid Dandavat pranam and then he started offering prayers.
With mercy of the Lord, all things were revealed to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and he could understand the importance of chanting holy name and distributing love of Godhead to the people. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya realized the importance of faith and the role of service to it.
Good. Now, the role of they are in their own word. So the role of preaching Sarvam Bhattacharya realized. Why? Because he saw who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, who Krishna is. They understood that he understood the truth. He saw the truth. Just like Srila Prabhupada, he saw the truth. So what was Srila Prabhupada's conviction? You would ask us why are you wasting your time in this human form of life. You are simply mood us, nonsense people. Why don't you take other chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra? It will take you. Goal of life is love of Godhead. How Prabhupada could have that conviction? That he's like, how we cannot say that because we have only this much conviction. So we'll try to convince according to this much conviction. But what is Prabhupada conviction? He's telling you, Raskas, why you're wasting your time. Think about it. Different conviction. And what kind of results Prabhupada produced? That's because of faith. See, when I speak now, whatever little faith that is transferred. But when Prabhupada speak now, that faith will be transferred. Prabhupada used to say preaching is the transfer of faith. Prabhupada said, how many of you have faith Krishna Supreme Personality of Godhead? When Prabhupada asked, na, everybody could understand. Actually, we don't have it. The chant is 16 now, sannyas row with danda. And they are like, yeah, we don't have that faith. Prabhupada said, if you have faith, if just 11 people, if you have faith Krishna Supreme Personality of Godhead, we can convert the whole world Krishna consciousness in 11 days. Prabhupada said, one old man. दुनिया हिला दिया करे. So Prabhupada said, you are born in India, you take it up. So we cannot give what we don't have. Cannot go beyond our adhikar. That's why Prabhupada used to say, purity is the force. With how much force you can convince somebody to take up Krishna consciousness, that depends upon purity. How much pure we are, nothing else. Krishna has to give conviction. Krishna will speak, Krishna will become very active based on your purity. Does it make sense? So when he saw, when it was revealed to him, then now there is no concept for him of what is Mayavad and this theory and that theory and that theory and this theory. सब पानी में गया. अभी साक्षात्कार हुआ. So you understood what I have to do. Now you will see his transformation. Is it clear? Okay.
Sadhu shloka kaila ekadana brihaspati prachi lokanam pari sadhana Bhattacharya composed 100 verses in a very short time. Indeed, not even Brihaspati, the least of the heavenly planets, could compose verses as
Sushloka Shataka is a book by Sarma Bhattacharya where those 100 verses are described. So um, he composed 100 verses in the glorification of Supreme Lord. So he paid Dandavat and then glorified in 100 verses. They are not described in Chaitanya Charitamrita.
सुनिशु के प्रभु तांडे कैला आलिंगना Bhattacharya Prema Vishe Nara Chaitanya. After hearing the 100 verses, Sri Mahaprabhu happily embraced Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was immediately overwhelmed in ecstatic love of Godhead and freedom consciousness.
So, um, what did Mahaprabhu do after 100 verses?
Embraced
He embraced him. And what happened by Mahaprabhu's embrace?
Sarvabhauma.
हाँ. अभी तक क्या है ना, अभी तक केवल so far he only got conviction. This is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now he got love of Godhead. And now you will see Ashtisattvic Vikar appearing in his body. So far conviction only came. Took a humble position, conviction came, and now prema भी मिल गया. So done. क्या पता नहीं कितने जन्म लगेंगे सरोज जी. Good, clear.
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is an incarnation of Buddha.
It's ringing some bells, but I have to double check. Have you heard that before?
But because everybody has some, like
Yes.
he says, like
Yes.
Hanuman.
Well, we can check after the class. I can check online. Okay.
अश्वत्थाम्ब पुल्लकया श्वेतकम्पा तदानि नसे जया कंडे पदे प्रभुपदादारि. Out of the aesthetic love of the god, the ghost Bhattacharya shed tears and his body was stunned. He exhibited aesthetic mood and he perspired, shook and trembled. He sometimes danced, sometimes chanted, sometimes cried, sometimes fell down to touch the lotus feet of the Lord.
See the transformation? Sometimes danced, cried, fell down, laughed, chanted, stopped. He is standing out and tears are coming from his eyes and touched the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But before that, what he was? सात्विक person, but very composed. Now क्या हुआ? सारा composure पानी में गया because Asta Sattvic Vikas started coming. Composed is, we will see some more thing on composure. Is it clear? All composure went. Why? Because love of God had struck him. Ashru, Stamba, Pulaka. So these are all uh, Shweda, Kampa. These are all Nache, Gaye, Kande. Kande is crying. Pade Prabhura Padadhari. Good.
देखी गोपी नाथाचार्य आरासिता माना भट्टाचार्य भट्टाचार्य नृत्य देखी हसे प्रभुरा गाना. While Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was in this ecstasy, Gopinatha Acharya was very pleased. The associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all laughed to see the Bhattacharya dance so.
So what happened to Gopinath Acharya?
Yes, please.
He was very pleased. The associate and all other Mahaprabhu's associates, they laughed. They already have it. सब पहुंचे हुए हैं. When he saw Bhattacharya exhibiting, they became very joyful.
Gopinathacharya told Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sir, you have got all of us upon Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, You are a devotee. Because of your association, Lord Jagannath has shown him mercy.
Reflection on this. Credit to whom?
One is Gopinath Acharya
Uh,
and then
because of your association, Lord Jagannath has shown him mercy. So Gopinath Acharya is the cause, and because of his association, Jagannath showed him the mercy. Clear? And why Gopinath Acharya? Because Gopinath Acharya kind of prayed and he really desired. That's why he was arguing. He was trying to convince. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was very grave and sattvic, and he thought Gopinath Acharya is just acting on passion, go away. But Gopinath Acharya has full love of Godhead. But he was acting in that way because he was in Asta Sattvic Vikar. And he was simply material goodness. That is Asta Sattvic Vikar. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya could not understand. He was like, when you see Mahaprabhu, never composed. Correct? But you see Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, others, they seem to be very composed. Why? There's love of Godhead, so you cannot tolerate. We discussed. You can tolerate one, two, or three, but when eight comes, you cannot tolerate. It's just your heart melts like butter. It just like completely like pani pani ho jate hain. When this, I mean, I'm yet to experience this. I don't know if I will experience this, but good. Okay. Jagat nistarila tumi. That is alpa karya. That's not. That's nothing. Alpa means very small. Alpa issue small. Neha Bikramanasustik. Swalpam. Swalpam apiyasa dharmasya. So alpa means very small. Jagat nistarila tumi seha alpa karya. Ama udharila tumi. A Shakti Ascharya. This is Ascharya. This is astonished. This is impossible to understand. You delivered me also. You see how much now Sarva Bhattacharya is not a kind of character who such words he can speak. Kind of, but see, his heart has completely melted. That's why he's like just so when the heart melts na, one doesn't think anything. One just flat. Clear? Otherwise, a lot of voices are with me. Ego will speak, mind will speak, everything will speak. So cannot just become flat. But when the heart melts, then it melts. So this happened with Sarvam Bhattacharya.
I had become dull today due to reading too many books on logic. Consequently, I had become like an iron bar. Nonetheless, we have melted me, and therefore their influence is limited.
So what do you see here? What do you see here?
like a iron bar and you melted me.
Really taking a humble position. Such words are not expected from a personality like Sarvam Bhattacharya, which is just material mode of goodness. But kind of, when the heart melts, then like nothing comes, just kind of complete humility comes, naturally flows, naturally. That's why it said humility, two kind of humility. One is genuine, one is like natural humility, one is like humility acting out of knowledge. Acting out knowledge means पता है अगर नहीं करेंगे तो कुछ मिलेगा नहीं तो कुछ चाहिए तो करो है ना but natural humility is like it just flows it's so how much advanced we are to that much extent we'll develop natural humility. Okay.
Early the following morning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to see Lord Jagannatha in the temple, and he saw the Lord rise from his bed. The priests there presented him with garlands and prasadam that had been offered to Lord Jagannath. This pleased Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very much.
He went to Jagannath temple. He saw the waking of the Lord. If you go to Jagannath temple, there is no. They bathe, they dress public. Waking up, you notice the dressing also. There is no closing of curtain. You go and you see, and they are changing clothes and everything public. Yeah. So he saw waking of the Lord, got a garland Mahaprasad, and he became very pleased.
Carefully tying the prasada and garlands in a cloth, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hastened to the house of Sarvabhauma
He
Bhattacharya.
kind of ran, quickly bent.
कृष्ण कृष्ण स्फुट कही भट्टाचार्य जगिला कृष्ण नामा स्वामी प्रभुरा आनंद बदिला. As Swama Bhattacharya arose from the bed, he distinctly chanted Krishna Krishna. Lord Chaitanya was very pleased to hear him chant the holy name of Krishna.
So what happened? This is actually the home of Sarvam Bhattacharya. You can go and visit his home, where Mahaprabhu delivers Sarvam Bhattacharya. So Sarvam Bhattacharya rose from bed. He distinctly chanted Krishna Krishna. Lord Chaitanya was very pleased to hear him chant the holy name of Krishna. This is naturally what happens when our heart melts with love. Is that there is a spontaneous devotion that flows towards Krishna. What is the first thing you remember when you get up from bed? Alarm is ringing. Oh no, what is the time? Oh, I want to sleep more. But what was Sarvam Bhattacharya? Absorbed.
বাহিরে প্রভুরা কেন পাইলা দর্শনা আস্তে ব্যস্তে আসি কাইলা karana vandana. The Bhattacharya noticed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu outside And with great haste he went to him and offered prayer unto him his lotus feet.
Hmm. So Bhattacharya noticed Mahaprabhu has come outside. He went and immediately offered prayers. Now, every action of Sava Bhattacharya, you will see the transformation before and now. And anything you see how Bhattacharya will behave is quite unique. Before transformation, after.
At that time, the Bhattacharya had not even washed his mouth, nor had he taken his bath or finished his morning duties. Nonetheless, he was very pleased to receive the prasadam of Lord Jagannatha and followed him.
So what did he do? He ate. He did not even wash the mouth, no brushing, no bathing, nothing. And this is how Mahaprasadam should be respected. Doesn't mean tomorrow we get up. थोड़ा महाप्रसाद लाइए पहले. Then we'll brush the teeth. But if Mahaprasad comes to you, there is no rules and regulations, just like chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay.
Bhattacharya said, one should take a Mahaprasada of Lord immediately upon receiving it, even though it is dried up, stale, or brought up from a different country. One should confer neither time nor place.
Because the thing is, faith in Mahaprasad, faith in Mahaprasad, that faith is lacking. That faith. This is not like he is hungry or his tongue is uncontrolled or his mouth is watering. No, Krishna has come. Like Krishna has eaten it. You see the difference? When you see the Mahaprasad, one thing is I am hungry, one thing is Prasad means mercy. Mercy. Prasad means mercy. Oh, Krishna has sent his remnants to me. And if you hear the stories in Vraja, how much Krishna Prasad is valued. Every evening, okay, let's talk about morning. Morning, Radharani goes and cooks for Krishna. Then there is a gopi, his name is Kundalata. She serves Krishna. And then she takes little remnants of Krishna. And that Radharani eats. She doesn't eat anything other than remnants of Krishna. In the evening, she sends something she cooks. She sent to Mother Yashoda through actually Raghunath Das Goswami and Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami. That's their service. Kasturi Manjari and Rati Manjari. She delivers some Mahaprasad to Krishna, and then Mother Yashoda feeds Krishna, and then um Rati brings back some Mahaprasad of Krishna, and then only Radharani honors. So, how much is the value of Krishna Mahaprasad? If we are on that level, we can understand how much is Mahaprasad valued. Uh, so when Basama Bhattacharya saw Mahaprasad of Krishna, that was like, oh, Krishna has come to me, his mercy has come to me in the form of this Mahaprasad. Does make sense? So immediately too he honored it.
Lord and the servant embraced each other and began to dance.
I think some are remaining.
Oh, the Lord and the servant embraced each other and began to dance, principal touching each other. They became ecstatic. As they danced and embraced, mutual fingers handshaked the entire body. They her trembled and shed tears, and the Lord began to speak in the ecstasy.
So what Mahaprabhu did, he brought Mahaprasad for Sabha Bhattacharya. See, this is a great thing. Does that make sense? He himself, he's Krishna himself. He himself brought Mahaprasad to Sarva Bhattacharya. Then what happened? They met. He immediately first ate Mahaprasad. That Krishna mercy has come. And then what did they do? Just think about it.
Embraced him.
They embraced, danced, cried, all Asta Sattvic Vikar. So you see the loving exchange between the Lord and his devotees. How much love is getting exchanged at every now we cannot understand this. Why? Because there is a covering of ahankar. But just see the loving exchange between the Lord and his devotees. Every exchange like this only. Every exchange they cry. You see Mahaprabhu's meeting with devotees. We, you know what we will think? एक बार हो गया काफी है. क्या बार बार थोड़ी ना करना. Doesn't make sense. And a crying meeting, this is impossible. But you see, every time they meet, we will feel na. Why is he coming again? But you see, by this we get a glimpse of the Navadip section of Goloka. Because these are eternal pastimes of the Lord. How Mahaprabhu grieves whenever he. This is like early morning. They're not like, oh, come jaldi aur japa shuru karo. It's all loving exchange. You will see Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Few things are common. First, Sankirtan is common. Actually, Sankirtan makes you advance way more faster than your japa. If you really want to, Ainda Prabhu says, I attained Siddha Deha just through the medium of Sankirtan. Sazai Thakur says Sankirtan is way more powerful than japa. So Sankirtan should not be done just for the matter of preaching. Sankirtan should be done as a matter of sadhana. You see, you do 2 hours excellent Sankirtan, very deep Sankirtan. See your japa next day. I'm telling you, this is a shortcut. If you can somehow apply this, you will see a U-turn in your Krishna consciousness. Some people understand, some people just don't get it. We are Yagya Sankirtana prior. You see Mahaprabhu, what he is doing the whole day. Just think about it. Whole day you see him doing Sankirtan and association of devotees. Sankirtan is the key if you really want to go deep in your japa. You try this. Just try. It's a buyback guarantee. Take the harmonium Mridanga Kartal, go on the street and chant 2 hours for 1 week. Just do this. Yeah, Ahankar will say impossible. And many things will say. But just do this and see the change of effect in your consciousness in 1 week. Gauge it yourself. Gauge yourself the next day. I was very much feeling kind of depressed in Corona time because no Sankirtan could happen. Now I go every day, 1 2 hours. Even if I'm alone, I take the harmonium, go to the streets and chant, and that's it. Why? Because I want to go back to Godhead. I want to make spiritual progress. You do in whichever form you like, but don't neglect the power of Sankirtan. Sankirtan is the one which will take you from one phase to another. But the thing is, you have to experience yourself in order to develop faith in Sankirtan. I don't know why I brought this topic on Sankirtan. Uh, Ecstasy. Anyways, so Kirtan is the means. Don't miss opportunity. You know why Corona has depressed people's spiritual life? Because there is no Sankirtan. And you know, Sankirtan alone will not be so potent as like I like Indrajana Maharaj. This is one of my favorite statements in the Maharaj. He says, I have spoken this n number of times. He says Sankirtan alone is powerful. Sankirtan is perfect. Sankirtan in association of devotees is more perfect. And Sankirtan in association of non-devotees is most perfect. In association of non-devotees is most perfect. It's just we have to come out of a zone of inhibition. Kalakanta Prabhu recently were having a call for Grand Rapids Center. You know Kalakanta Prabhu, Florida, Bhakti House, Krishna House leader. He's a spiritual master. We were having a call with him, and he said, "I have seen people make maximum spiritual progress when they go for Sankirtan." He said, "You see what Mahaprabhu did throughout his life. Just see how is it. Prabhupada, see the amount of enthusiasm that Prabhupada disciples had. You remember, like what all they did at such a young age. You see their daily activities, Prabhupada disciples. What do you see?
Morning, wake up, have need pressure to work.
One, Jayadvaita Maharaj, he was telling specifically about brahmachari this thing. He says brahmachari are unable to make progress if they stay in a temple. If they stay in a temple, I mean, does not mean we should just leave the temple. Stay in a temple means they don't go out. Just stay in a temple. No, that won't help us progress. So we have to be very intelligent. What is intelligence? Less investment, more return. That's intelligence. Okay, थोड़ा दूंगा ज्यादा मिलेगा, क्या करूं? You have your choice. There are 10 hours, 15 hours, 24 hours. Okay, we have many work, we have some free time. You have a choice. Now use your intelligence. What will help you make spiritual progress in this time? There has to be a balance. There has to be reading. There has to be chanting. One devotee, Dev Madhav Prabhu, some of you may know him from Ypsilanti. You know him? Uh, He says Kirtan should be done as a part of sadhana. Sadhana means we are nobody to deliver anyone. But sadhana means like why we do sadhana? To nourish our Krishna consciousness. Why we do chanting? We want to gain something, right? We read, we associate. Why? Because we want to make progress. So sadhana is meant for progress. So intelligent devotees, what do they do? According to Bhagavatam, what does what is the verse?
Jai Sankirtan.
Yajanti Sumedhas. Yeah. They are intelligent. They have Sumedha. There is not Durmedha. Sumedha. Sumedha means intelligent people. What do they do? Yagyai Sankirtana Praya. They do. What is the Yuga Dharma for Kali Yuga? Sankirtan Yagya. How Prabhupada started Krishna consciousness movement? What is the beginning days? What he would do? He would go to the park. Which park? Tompkins Square Park. He would go to the park, sit under a tree, and he's a founder acharya. And what is he doing? He's studying under a tree in a park and he's doing Sankirtan. What is the instruction he's giving to his disciples? Take Mridanga and Kartals and go out. If Srila Prabhupada is not giving that instruction, why would every Krishna conscious devotee is out on the street? Does it make sense? And then what, if you want to please me, do Sankirtan, distribute books. So why is Prabhupada like emphasizing? Because Prabhupada want them to make spiritual progress. So these things, just contemplate and think about it and um, work on it. How many of you attended Gaurmani Mataji's Kirtan Sunday feast? You were there. How did you feel? You felt nourished? That's what happens. You will not feel that nourishment when you are just doing japa. You agree with me? Any kirtan, just it should not be like 15-20 minutes kirtan, 10 minutes kirtan. Because अरे वो mind इतना डिस्टर्ब रहता है ना, 10 minutes takes just to bring back mind to kind of little bit. 10-15 minutes kirtan just before class is not sufficient. It's just it may give you some little bit of very little, just drop of some nectar drops and that's it. But if you kind of saturate yourself for 1-2 hours, just saturate, deep, deep, go, then that kind of stays very long. Just have to kind of like, what does Mahaprabhu says? Sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtan. What do you say? Sarvatma snapanam means submerge. Isn't it? Hare Krishna, Krishna, chalo. Done. No. Sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtan. This is our yoga dharma. Shri Krishna Sankirtan. Okay. Who is supposed to read?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued.
Okay. Okay.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued. I feel that today all my beloved children fulfill because I see the sadhana
But Mahaprabhu, why was Mahaprabhu pleased? What did he say? He was so pleased to see that Sarvam Bhattacharya has developed faith. He said, my life is successful. Now, it really makes us think, what is Mahaprabhu talking about the faith in Mahaprasad? It's not just some prasad comes and we eat. Makes sense. Otherwise, Mahaprabhu will not say, my life is pleased. My life is successful. I am so pleased to see that he has developed faith in Mahaprasad. Means Mahaprasad, Krishna remnants is coming. The consciousness. And and Sarva Bhattacharya developed that. Why? When you get love of Godhead, na, you get everything. Love of Godhead is like complete package. So everything comes. So Mahaprabhu was very pleased.
Mahaprabhu Ayala Stani Sri Aite Bhattacharya Kamila Abhiman. After speaking to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to his residence. From that day on, the Bhattacharya was because his false pride has been dismantled.
Contemplate on humility of Sarva Bhattacharya before he received the mercy. एता कही महाप्रभु आइला निज स्थाने सही हाइटे भट्टाचार्य खंडीला अभिमानी. Khanda means Haridas Thakur said, Khanda Khanda. To break my body into pieces. Every piece will chant the holy name of Krishna. So Khandila Abhimane means my, yeah, is Abhiman is powdered. Now, after speaking to Sarva Bhattacharya in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to his residence. From that day on, Bhattacharya was free because his false pride has been dismantled. Like everything broken. Dismantle, you build a cart and then everything piece down. Everything was powdered. Now, his Sarva Bhattacharya pride was dismantled. Contemplate on humility of Sarva Bhattacharya before he received the mercy. How humble was Sarva Bhattacharya before he received the mercy? Can you remember some instances?
He wanted to gain free.
Say louder.
He wanted, Sarvam Bhattacharya wanted to gain
Well, yeah, that was kind of too much pride on his part. But some examples of his humility, Sarva Bhattacharya.
And Gopinath Acharya was example.
Okay, thank you. What else? When Mahaprabhu came back to consciousness, immediately took dust from his feet and smeared on his head. Great humility. Every time he would see Mahaprabhu, he would pay dandavats. When he's speaking 7 days, he made Mahaprabhu sit on the high platform and sat on the ground. And here it is telling his false pride was powdered. So you see the humility was exhibited at that level. Does it make sense? And humility is exhibited at a pure level, but there is a Jamin Asman Gantar. His acharan was very kind of sattvic and composed, and kind of he still has he's acting on etiquettes, but there is no melting of the heart. There is no true humility. He's just out of etiquette. He's a sannyasi. I should give him a post, whatever. He has lot of excellent etiquette in mode of goodness, but the heart does not have pure love. But now he was completely free from all that ahankar within himself. He just, whenever he sees Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he just, it's like, it's naturally he's flowing and offering prayers and everything is just like so natural for him. Clear? His heart has melted now. Good? Good? Okay. I think
On
you.
that day, Sarvam Bhattacharya didn't know anything but the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. And from that day, he could explain the revealed scriptures only in accordance with the practice of devotion.
Okay, this is very important point. How should we present Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam? How he presented the scriptures. only in accordance with the process of devotional service. Those people who don't do this should not preach. Should not preach. Why? Because then they'll become Sarvabhaumacharya and simply create disturbance in the society. Only those who present Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, how?
accordance
To devotional service, they should preach. No matter what verse is, what you have to speak. Chant the holy name, chant, 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 chant. Offer prasad, A, B, C, D. Whatever Bhagavad Gita says, you have to go back and relate to devotional service and bring the process of devotional service. That is preaching. Preaching means you are not here Bhagavad Gita professors who are making Bhagavad Gita understand. You are here to give them the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are here to give them the process of devotional service. That's how scripture should be presented. So you sometimes people say this is the essence, but they will not see the essence when they see karma. When they see karma, if you see Prabhupada, you take any purport of Prabhupada of Bhagavad Gita, doesn't matter what verse says. A pure devotee of Krishna, and Prabhupada starts. You noticed? Doesn't matter what Bhagavad Gita verse says. Inside you will find only pure devotional service. Some people criticize Prabhupada for that. Why? Because they are rascals. They should be crushed to death. Because they are finding fault in Prabhupada. Because they don't know what Prabhupada is giving them. They're just fault finders. But you see, Prabhupada is following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sarva Bhattacharya. He is presenting scriptures only according to devotional service. That's how it should be presented. Otherwise, we'll become Sarva Bhattacharya. Just dry knowledge. Nobody heart is transformed by dry knowledge, bro. Heart is transformed when it is touched with bhakti. We are bhakti yogis. Bhakti has to be given. Knowledge means bhakti. You see, Prabhupada lectures. Doesn't matter what verse he's speaking. He'll just say so, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Devotee association has to be heard. Service to pure devotees. Prabhupada is just simply distribute my book. He's just saying these things. But that's what scripture essence is. But not every verse will be like every verse is that, but we don't have the intelligence to see that. Verses of Bhagavad Gita can be seen from Rag platform, from Vidhi platform. But we will try to understand with our intellect. That's why we need mercy of pure devotees to understand. Otherwise, we can read it, but we will not be benefited at all. That's why best is you speak according to what Srila Prabhupada says and according to what previous Acharya says. Srila Prabhupada, our individual spiritual masters, we are connected to Parampara. This whole Parampara. Anything Parampara says, that's who we are. Whether it's Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, you name it. They are all in line, in one sync. They are one Sarup. They are one Sarup. There is no Bhed among them. It's just one pure flow of devotion. Okay?
Gopinatacharya. Okay. Gopinatacharya Tamra Vaishnavata Dikhiya Hero Bali Se Kali Piya. Seeing that Sarvama Bhattacharya was firmly fixed in the cult of Vaishnavism, Gopinath Acharya, his brother-in-law, began to dance, clap, like his hand and chant Hare Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna is also okay. So, what was Gopinath Acharya again? The joy of a devotee. What is joy of a devotee? Making progress in Krishna consciousness. This is a little bit. This is a little bit. What is the joy of a conditioned soul? If somebody comes and says, Prabhuji, chanting is struggling. Very good. Prabhuji, not doing good at all. But outside, I mean, I'm not saying. I'm sure you are all very pure. But Prabhupada says Vaishnava means no envy. No envy. In a condition set, what happens now? Seeing others' progress give us pain. But you see, Gopinath Acharya, his pleasure is coming from. Now there is one thing here. How ahankar works. Should I say ahankar? If I am preaching to somebody, if they are making progress, then out of ahankar we'll be very happy. But that's not compassion. That's just ahankar. What is real thing? If everybody in the temple, those I'm not connected to, if I'm envious of them also, I mean envious means ahankar only, and they are making progress and I am getting happiness by seeing everybody becoming Krishna conscious. If my happiness is coming from seeing everybody not connected to me becoming Krishna conscious, then I'm making progress. Then I'm actually thinking that what is pleasing to Krishna. Otherwise, I am just thinking what is pleasing to me. I am the center. Krishna is not the center. When I should do, things should be excellent. Others, no. Why? Because I, this is, why we are not able to make spiritual progress? Because of this ahankar. Does it make sense? Because this ahankar. Ahankar means it's same principle. People love their family so much and not others. It's same principle when it comes to devotional service in this way. One has to get realization to see this. Are I am simply a fool. Am I practicing Krishna consciousness or what? Or just a show bottle? Do I really want to go back to Godhead? Or do I just want to be entangled in the cycle of birth and death? So that's why Bhagavatam says, Bhagavad Gita says, mind is our greatest enemy. Why makes us feel pleasure from something which actually will cast us into hell? I mean, hell means for devotee, rebirth. Punarapi Janam, Punarapi Bhavanam. Is it clear? So one has to be very, that's why Prabhupada says one has to be very sincere. Prabhupada said advancement in Krishna consciousness depends upon the sincerity of the practitioner. I mean, many things he says. One of the things sincere. So sincere, what does sincere means? Means, am I careful? Am I contemplative? Okay, what am I doing? Am I taking a pause to see, is it giving pleasure to, is it giving Krishna pleasure? Oh, this is impossible to think of. Am I right? You're like, if we just, and reading Prabhupada books will actually give us understanding kind of, where we are. Without reading now, we'll not be able to understand. We'll think everything is going nice, but we will be falling in the trap of our own mind. This is jewels. If you apply, you will make progress. If you don't apply, your progress will be checked. But fact will remain fact. We have to read Prabhupada books. If you really see, we want to go to next level or want to stay here. Like, we want to make progress or not. Otherwise, what will happen? 30 years also you will keep struggling in your chanting. You will say, no taste, Prabhuji. I don't feel. Arey, क्यों taste आएगा? You don't deserve taste. Taste के लिए, are you doing what Prabhupada wants you to do? Are you following it nicely, the process of Krishna consciousness? Are you following it as it is? Or are you following what I want? Then what you want, you get what you want. But it's like books. Books are called, mirrors. What you see in a mirror? You see yourself. So during Prabhupada books, you will see yourself. आप बोलोगे, अरे यार, people are praising me a lot, but मैं तो बहुत घटिया इंसान. It's a reality check. You will see, oh, I'm doomed. Then somebody says, Prabhuji, we are so grateful to you. We think, why are you creating another illusion? Already there is so much illusion. Already there is a mountain and you are again coming back. So reading will give you the reflection of a mirror. We see ourselves where we stand. This I can read. Shanvanti Gayanti Grinanti Abhikshnasha. Did you all read this verse from Kunti Devi's prayers? Smaranti Nandanti Tave Hitam Jana. Ta eva Pashyanti Achirina Tavakam Bhava Pravaho Paramam Padam Bhujam. O Krishna, Kunti Devi prayers, O Krishna, those who continuously hear, chant, and repeat your transcendental activities or take pleasure in others doing so, certainly see a lotus feet, which alone can stop the repetition of birth and death. What does it mean? They continuously hear, chant, and repeat your transcendental activities, basically your pastimes. Constantly hear, chant, and repeat your pastimes, or take pleasure in others doing so. When a devotee sees others practicing Krishna consciousness, speaking Krishna Katha, or becoming serious, then they take a lot of pleasure. There is a lot of pleasure. But something else happened to us. So it's it's okay. It's okay because Prabhupada said we are conditioned souls after all. It's okay. But the thing is, okay, am I working on myself? Am I acting on it? Or am I kind of just drinking the poison and taking a humble position and praying for Lord's mercy to be able to nice the process nicely? See a difference? Okay.
आराधीना भट्टाचार्य आला दर्शने जगन्नाथा नाथिकी Aila Prabhu Sthane. The next day, the Bhattacharya went to visit the temple of Lord Jagannatha, but before he reached the temple, he went to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
See the heart transformation Bhattacharya. Before going to Jagannath temple, because his heart is flowing with love for Mahaprabhu. So first he went to, we just, okay, chodo, I want to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Fundamental question: how can the delivery be done?
Mm. When again Bhattacharya fell down, offered him respect, this is everything flowing from his heart out of love for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then he spoke about
Previous Friday speech.
with amazing. We recently asked one devotee to give Sunday feast class. He said, I will not give. Then he said, no, you have to give. Then he said, okay, I have one condition. I said, what is the condition? He said, actually, you have to announce and give me a, keep it secret. You have to announce me and give me a introduction. You have to tell people about my truth. And then he openly said, actually, after I got initiated, I was very attracted to one Mataji. And then we went to restaurant also sometime. So you have to tell that this is a very nice devotee, but he's a rascal number one because after getting initiated, he did this thing. And then if they want to hear from me, I'll speak. If you cannot introduce like this to me, I'm not going to speak because then you will just say false thing which I'm not. So you have to tell who I am. Then only. And then he started crying. And he said, I'm such a wretched soul. And he is one of the most exalted devotee in the congregation. You see the genuinity? See that? The kind of natural humility, his genuineness, his kind of frank honesty. And what Sarma Bhattacharya did, he spoke of his previous bad disposition with great humility. When we remember our past of what all is our activities, actually makes us humble. And there is a prayer by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's songs are really kind of, they will make us move. How many of you heard this song? Bhuliya tumhare samsare majhiya. Have you heard? Nobody has heard that song.
Read it once again.
We read it here. Okay, I have the tab open. Let me open it. Where we are. Okay. Okay. There are many songs, but time is so less. Okay. This I open. This by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I will read the Bengali, and then you all read in the mind, and then start, and then keep a watch at the translation also, so you get the feel of the essence. भूलिया तुम्हारे संसारे आसिया पे ये नाना विधा व्यथा तुम्हारा चरणे आसिया छियामी बोलिबो दुखेरा कथा जननी जठारे छिलामा जखोना বিষামা बंधना पासे एक बार प्रभु देखा दिया मोरे वंचिलाए दीना दासे देखो ना भाविनो जन्म पाइया করিব ভজনা তবা জন্ম হইলা পারি মায়া জালে না হইল জ্ঞান লবা. You see the meaning of this? What is the meaning? When I was in the womb, I was praying. I will sincerely worship. Then what happened? Janma hoilo pori maya jale. As soon as I took birth, I went into Maya Jal. And then na hoilo gyana lava. Now I forgot everything. Of who am I? In the womb, the soul remembers me, the Krishna, my relationship with Krishna. Adharera chele, swajanera kole, hasiya katinu kala. Means when I took birth, they gave me so much pleasure. Na 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 na, and you're like, "Ah." All the gyan goes into water. I will sincerely worship you, and I'm just becoming so happy. Among Hasya Katinu Kala, I'm passing my time laughing. Janaka Janani Snehite Bhuliya Samsara Lagilo Bhalo. Janaka Janani means relatives. Snetehe Bhuliya, in their affection I forgot. And Samsara Lagilo Bhalo. Bhalo means this material world is looking so nice. Everyone loves me so much. It's so nice place. क्रमे दीना दीने बालक होइया भेलिनु बालक saha. Then what happened? Slowly I became balak hoiya bhelinu balaka saha, and then I played with all the friends. Ara kichu dine ज्ञान उपजिलो पाठ पढ़ी aharaha. Or kichu dine, in some time what happened? I I gained lot of knowledge. Jnana. Which knowledge? Jada Vidya. Patha. And then I went to studies. Patha Padiya Haraha. My school lessons every day. Vidyara Gaurave. Brahmi Deshe Deshe. Dhana Uparjana Kori. And then I became proud. What are you? Senior software engineer. Brahmi Deshe Deshe. And I started going देश then धना उपार्जना कोरी. I gained so much wealth. स्वजन पालना कोरिए कामाने भूलिनु तुम्हारे हरि. And I taking care of so many family members now, because now I'm grown up making wealth, and then I forgot Hari. बारदाखे खोना भक्ति विनोदा कांदिया कातराती না ভাজিয়া তোরে দিনা বৃথা গেল এখন কি হবে গতি now I am sadly weep as death is approaching. Bhakti Thakur is very old here. So he's telling now I'm waiting and death is approaching, and I failed to seriously worship you, my Lord. Instead, pass my days in vain. Now, what will be my fate? So you see how kind of honest Bhaktivinoda Thakur is writing the life, but Bhaktivinoda Thakur is a pure devotee of Krishna. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has many songs. It is said, you may have heard, Bhagavad Gita is bachelor, and then Bhagavatam is masters, and then Chaitanya Charitamrita is PhD. We are doing PhD right now, and then Vaishnava song is postdoc. They contain the essence. So just read Bhaktivinoda Thakur songs, you will see like it will be like real mirror. you know, in Bhagavad Gita you will see little fade mirror. But if you read the songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, devotees love the songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur like anything. There are so many songs. Gopina আমি কি তো দোষে দোষী Shiromati. Complete the idea. And then what is that song? Um, কিছু নাহি মোরা আগুন nahi, that is um, what is that song? It's utter humility. I love it. Anyways, there is a song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. There is a whole list of songs, and the whole list of song is called Sharanagati. And among them, there is a song called Dainya. Like under Sharanagati, there is Atmanivedan, like complete surrender. Then there is a section of song under Sharanagati called Dainya, utter humility. There, when he describes, kind of really makes us kind of think. So this is like pure devotion. These words of our acharyas. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. I think we will end here, and we have certainly uh, uh, 12. I think yeah, around 20 slides. We'll start next week, and then continue to next chapter. We'll end here. Okay. So online, I'm ending now. My obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much. Vamshi Vilas Prabhu family, Sunil Prabhu family,
Thank you,
Shirisha.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavad Pranam.
Hare
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.